Hi everybody, and welcome to the final chapter of the Teddy Bear Tree. We finally made it. Let's see how this amazing story ends and what Bertine does with all of her bears. Chapter 5, The Teddy Bear Bash. The next morning at breakfast, Bertine asked her mother if she could have a party the following day. What kind of party? Mrs. Lewis asked in surprise. This is certainly short notice. It's a find a new home for a bear party, said Bertine. And when she explained the details to her mother and Lucy, they both thought she had hit on a very good idea. I could bake some cookies, Mrs. Lewis said, going to the pantry to see if she had any chocolate chips. I'll help too, Lucy volunteered, and that afternoon she and Bertine wrote out invitations to the party. The invitations read, "Come to a teddy bear bash, Lewis's backyard, Friday, 3:30 p.m. I thought bash meant to hit someone, said Bertine. It can also mean a good time, Lucy explained. The girls delivered an invitation to the door of each of Bertine's friends on the street and then hurried back home to work on more party preparations. Everyone arrived promptly the next afternoon. Mrs. Lewis had set out 2 pitchers of lemonade and a big platter of cookies on the picnic table. Lucy had found a package of balloons in her desk drawer, and she and Bertine had blown them up and tied them in the branches of the trees. They looked very happy bobbing in the breeze. Where are the rest of the bears, Bertine? Asked Peachy Miller, looking at Joel and Noel and the twins sitting together on the picnic bench. You'll find out, said Bertine mysteriously. She reached into the pocket of her sundress and drew out a handful of brightly colored cloth strips that she and Lucy had cut from leftover scraps in their mother's sewing drawer. They passed out a strip to each child. Are you visualizing what's going on in the story? Because there's no pictures here. So the kids get to the party, and Bertine and Lucy give each kid a piece of colored cloth. Now, what on earth do you think they could be up to? Like, what are they doing with these pieces of cloth? Do you have any ideas? Well, let's see what their plan is. Here's what Bertine says. Hidden around the yard, Bertine told them, are bears with bows around their necks. You have to match up the bows with the strips of cloth in your hand, Lucy explained. Let me tell them, Lucy, Bertine said. It was my idea. I helped hide the bears, though, Lucy reminded her. Do we get to play with the bears when we find them? Asked Kathy Ritchie. You get to keep them, Bertine told her grandly. Start looking. So here's the kids at the party. So do you kind of understand how she set it up? So every bear has a bow on its neck that's a certain color, and then there's certain colors of the fabric. And so every kid has to find the bear whose bow matches their strip of cloth. So that's what they're going to do. And did you hear what happens? They don't just get to play with it, it gets to be theirs. She's giving her bears away to her friends. With shouts of glee, the children rushed off across the lawn. Bright eyes peered out at them from the secret hiding places Bertine and Lucy had found for the bears. Warm, you're getting warm, cried Bertine and Lucy as a child got close to a bear, or they called out, cold, cold, if he wandered away from one. Suddenly, Betsy Bissell gave a squeal of joy. I found him, I found my animal, she exclaimed, as she spied the gray bear sporting a blue bow around his neck and crouching in back of a rose bush. Bertine thought the bear looked very pleased as Betsy gave him a hug. Hey, cool, said Peachy Miller, plucking the big white bear out of a willow tree. I think I'll call him Wendell, after my uncle. Justin found his bear, the little white one, huddled under an overturned flower pot. Thank you, Bertine, he said, grinning with delight. You're welcome, Justin, Bertine answered, giving him a kindly pat on the head. Wow, look at mine, shouted Drew Nichols, grabbing the black bear from in back of the lawn chair. He looks like a real grizzly, except for the pink bow. Drew snatched off the bear's ribbon and, making loud, growling noises, carried him over to the picnic table. See, Joyce, said Kathy Ritchie, holding her bear out to her sister, our teddy bears are the same color. I think they're the best of the whole bunch, whispered Joyce, looking happily from one yellow bear to the other. Bertine watched with satisfaction as her guests, with their bears, gathered at the table and helped themselves to cookies and lemonade. The pleased expressions on their faces made her feel very grand and grown up, rather like a fairy godmother. Have another cookie, she urged everyone, and help yourself to more lemonade. There's plenty. Lucy was the first one finished. Let's play something, she said, swatting a bee off Noel's nose. How about Red Rover, suggested Betsy. Giant step, said Peachy. Ring around the rosy, said Justin, knocking over his juice. Hide and seek, announced Lucy. I'll even be it. As the others scrambled to their feet, Betsy leaned over and whispered to Bertine, Want to sleep over on Friday? Sure, said Bertine eagerly, and I'll bring my bears. I'm going to ask my mom to help us make pajamas for them, Betsy said, giving her own bear an affectionate squeeze. Wouldn't they look neato in clothes? Yellow would be nice for Joel, Bertine decided, and the twins could wear pink. Green for my guy, said Betsy, jumping up from the picnic bench. As Bertine was about to follow her across the lawn, a gruff little voice at her elbow said, Blue. Bertine looked down at Joel, sitting next to the twins. I like yellow best, she told him. Blue, said Joel. Yellow, said Bertine. Blue, said Joel. We'll see, said Bertine, and dashed off around the side of the house in search of a good hiding place. There's her pears. And that, my friends, is the end of the story. End of Teddy Bear Tree. So Bertine was able to share all of the bears with her friends in the neighborhood, and they all now have their own bears too. Her problem got solved, and she got to keep some bears for herself, which is awesome. I've been scanning my bookshelf for the next book I'd like to read to you. I've got a couple narrowed down, so look for our new selection tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to be a great one. And I hope that you had a great day. I hope you got out in the sunshine. I hope that you're reading. I hope that you're practicing writing. And I hope that you are well. And I will talk to you tomorrow.